Hey, it's Marilyn Devonish here from transformationstm.com. And this is really event number 2 for the virtual book launch book tour. So in the past 4 weeks, I've had 2 book collaborations come out, the second of which was launched last week. And this one is a paperback book, and also there's a Kindle book available. So what I will do after this video, I'll put the links where you can purchase either or both of those or either one in the comments, or if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put it in the description. But the Amazon delivery has just been, so I thought rather than open it, he delivered it a few hours ago, but I was doing an interview today, filming an interview podcast, and then also had the plumber here, so I've had to restrain myself. But here, I haven't opened it. It could be something completely different. I don't think I've ordered anything else on Amazon, so I might be doing this and go, oh, it's not what I thought. However, let us see if it's what I think it is. Oh, yes. So, here we go. Unlocked. There's yours truly and all of the other wonderful authors on the back. So just so you can get a better look at the cover, there we go. So that's what we're looking at here, Unlocked. My first time having a look-see. So it's called From Surviving to Thriving. And weirdly, that is a name of the relationship and, overcoming the affair. That's what I called it, From Surviving to Thriving After the Affair. So when I saw the title of the book, when it finally came out, I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. So From Surviving to Thriving, and then it's 10 acclaimed experts, of which I'm one, share their advice for adapting to life after a crisis. And the book was curated by Sadie Restorick. So we have it here. This is my first look through. So what I'm going to do is, of course, photo read the book a little bit later. Let's have so we've got our forward, which is wonderful. Thank you, Sadie, for putting all of this together. And then we start. Okay, perfect. Finding balance. Interesting. Resilience and positivity. Diet and lifestyle. So it really does cover a range of areas. Before I had a good old look, I really want to wait until I've got it in my hand. Power of human connection, open communication, trauma and us. Yeah, there's a lot. Remote working by Marilyn Devonish. There we go. That's my chapter there. Oh, there's a lot. We cover a lot here. Wow. Self-awareness during difficult times. What we got here? Growing happiness. And this is about your relationship with food. So for those of you who've got green fingers, and even if you haven't, you might learn a thing or two about doing that. Sleeping soundly. Topic I talk about a lot as well. Maintaining a positive state of mind. As a hypnotherapist, I totally love the sound of that chapter. And lessons from evidence-based supported employment, a surviving and thriving at work toolkit. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So we have, just to give you an overview of who is in the book as well, we've got Sadie Restorick, who's written a chapter and curated and brought together the whole project. You've got Helen Lawson, Tracy Allport, Caroline Sherlock, Lucy Batham-Reed, Marilyn Devonish, moi, Steve Hoblin, Imogen Tinkler, Sasha Marie Mulligan, and Paul Dorrington. So you'll be able to get to know us when you get your copy. We're all on the back of the book. And what I'm also going to be doing is running a webinar on the chapter on remote working, showing some tips and insights, particularly for those of you who, as we're coming out of lockdown and post-COVID, post-pandemic, if you are in a situation where you are going to be doing more in terms of working from home, working remotely, flexible working, and you want some help and support and tips and insights with that, I'm going to run a free webinar. And now the webinar is free to those of you who have purchased the book. It will be a chargeable webinar outside of that. But if you've purchased the book, all you need to do is just send me a screenshot of your receipt, and I will put you on the list. And when I'm running it, I'll add you to the webinar page. If you can't make it live, you'll get a copy of the recording. If you happen to be watching this and you haven't purchased the book, that's absolutely fine. You can still join us. It just means you'll have to pay to attend the webinar. So if you wanted to do that, then just drop me an email. If we're connected on social media, you can DM me as well. And what I will do is I will put my email address up there so you can see what it is. So there we go. That's me. So email Marilyn, Marilyn, at transformationstm.com. So it's TRANCE, F for Freddie, so FORMATIONS, TM as in trademark. So Marilyn at transformationstm.com. Send me a screenshot of your receipt. You're kind of, you always get an Amazon receipt number when you've made your purchase saying congratulations. It shows you some other stuff that you might want to buy. So just send me a screenshot of that. I'll add you to the list if you want to join us for the webinar. But yeah, really, really lovely to have the book in hand and to see the finished version. There is definitely, for me, ebooks are great. I love them. Kindle's great. I purchased the Kindle version as soon as the book was launched, but I still wanted to resist having a flick through until I had the actual finished copy in my hand. So it's just really lovely to get it. And in terms of, why this subject, 'cause I know it's come as a bit as a surprise for some people who only know me in terms of the coaching and the therapy and the HUNA and the access consciousness and the photo reading, the accelerated learning. And that's the thing that people are most familiar with. And now it's gotten to the stage in terms of, I've got to say, multidisciplinary therapist, because even for me to sit here and go, right, soul plan reading, EFT, DNA theta healing, NLP, hypnotherapy, timeline, it's just, the list is long. So I just say, look, multidisciplinary therapist. So many people know me just for that. However, the other side of that, and the reason you wouldn't know anything about it, is something that happens behind closed doors. So I hadn't really been writing about it, speaking about it. That's more in a corporate context. But I've also been working as a flexible working implementation consultant since 2003. So before flexible working, remote working, smart working was popular or on everyone's lips, or almost a third of the population across the globe had been thrust into working from home. These are conversations I've been having for the last 17 years, if you're watching this in real time. So I've been doing that since 2003. I've personally been working from home since the year 2000. I've been offering online coaching, online training, and online therapy since 2005. So I know, again, it was the new thing to be coaching online. It really is my old normal. I've been designing and delivering full online, programs and e-coaching programs since 2013. And also started running full video webinar workshops in 2016. And last year, which was 2019, I then launched my full online expo platform, where we've got the main stage, we've got the breakout rooms, we've got AI assisted networking, speed networking, we've got the sponsorship booths. So, in terms of the new normal, as people are terming it now, that really has been my old normal for pretty much the best part of 20 years. So that is the reason why I'm speaking and writing on the subject more. Although that said, even that is a bit of a misnomer. Let me find this one. I will show it to you just so you can see what I mean. In October 2019, before anyone had uttered the words COVID-19, coronavirus, pandemic, lockdown, I decided that I wanted to write and speak more about flexible working and remote working, October 2019. My first article came out in October 2019. And then I had a couple more come out in January, in February. And then, of course, when all of this kind of broke out, everybody was talking about it. So over the past, few months, I've had articles appear, Chartered Management Institute, Personnel Today, People Management, PsychReg, PR Moment, Image. You see, I've been on BBC Radio 5 Live. I was on BBC Radio Kent a couple of weeks ago. Because I had somebody say, another consultant on the bandwagon. So I had to go, okay, hold it right there. If you call 17 years a bandwagon, fair enough. And I made the decision to write and speak about this topic a good 3 months before any of this broke. So, you know, it's lovely then to have that decision that I made in October culminate in the book, which is absolutely amazing. That's fabulous. And for those of you who want to know more about the actual process that sits behind that, I was testing out an idea for a program I was putting together at the time, the One Focus Challenge. Now, when all of that kind of, you know, hit the fan, I know people weren't in a particular mindset to be thinking about that, so I put that on hold. But the process I put into action in terms of I'm going to choose something which is completely out there, it's got nothing to do with anything that I'm known for, and what you see on the screen before you, and pretty much the culmination of this book as well, comes to the processes that I was then working with the One Focus Challenge. So we're going to be, you know, bringing that one back to life as we now start transitioning out of lockdown. But yeah, really exciting. And this is the second book collaboration in as many months. This one came out about a month ago. So for those of you who are business owners, if you're running a business in times of crisis and you want help and a kind of strategic view on that, this was the other book collaboration. And again, this one I wrote a chapter on flexible working. So that's the second of collaboration in terms of this topic. So yeah, really excited. Lovely to have the book. I look forward to running the webinar for those of you who have purchased it. Now, the book is £6.99. The Kindle is a mere 99 pence. That's just under £1. So very easy, really accessible, because they wanted to make sure, Sadie wanted to make sure that this could be in the hands of everyone that needed it. So yeah, I really look forward to working with you all. Thank you to everyone who has already purchased a copy of the book. We started, you know, I think it was the second day we were out. We're number 10 on the top 10 list. Yesterday, well, Sunday night actually, stroke yesterday, depending on your time zone, we were at number, I think it was number 9 or number 8. And what was really cool is Ant Middleton, SAS Who Dares Wins, is at number 4. So we're on the same top 10 list as Ant Middleton, which is really exciting. So yeah, wonderful to be in the Amazon top 10 straight out the gate. And that is really down to everyone making a purchase. So thank you for that. And yeah, here we go. Let's see what comes next, but really exciting times. And also for those of you who work in organizations, if you've been struggling with working at home, one of the things that comes as a part of being the consultant is going into organizations to help them scope the work, put best practice together, look at their policies, look at their strategies, how do they implement this. And the other side of that is the psychological impact of working from home. So if you work for an organization who's now going to be putting more time and more effort into making sure that they are supporting their staff, and also the other piece of that is helping people be productive at home, please feel free to get in touch, give me a call, recommend me. And in terms of the briefing sessions, the training sessions, the workshops, those are anything from 60 to 90 minutes, depending on whether I'm just doing a very short session just to give people some tips and ideas, through to half-day workshops, one-day workshops, two-day workshops, three-day workshops, all of which can be delivered online. I don't use Zoom, I use a secure dedicated webinar platform, and all of those can be delivered online. They can be delivered virtually, so your staff can be there in real time in the moment, or they can catch the replay if you've arranged to have access to the replay. So, you know, feel free to get in touch. If you work for an organization that is now thinking more seriously about working from home and remote working and flexible working, or if you're struggling with it yourself and you just wanted to do a one-to-one consultation, then get in touch, drop me an email. There's also a facility where you can book a free 20-minute consultation if you want to have an initial chat. But yeah, I'm happy to come into the organization either in person once lockdown is over, or coming in virtually and designing and delivering some trainings. And in terms of the trainings, I've been a leadership development trainer since 2003, designing, delivering, implementing workshops organizational wide, mainly in central and local government. So these programs will be for anything up to 5,000 or 10,000 people. And that's everything from, you know, scoping the ideas, finding out what the organization is looking for, designing it, putting the PowerPoint slides together, creating the workbooks if organizations have commissioned workbooks, and then going in and delivering those trainings. And I'm sure for those of you who follow me a while, you will know that the feedback is always incredible. And some of that feedback is written down and documented if you want to see it. And I've also put it on the new website that I've started as well, which is specifically where I'm going to start bringing together the information. I've just yesterday added the links to the books, actually, if you do want to kind of get hold of the books. And let me tell you, it's a very new site. Let me tell you, actually, I think there's a bit.ly as well, isn't there? That might be the easiest one to do. Da 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 da. Here we go. So it is the long version. It's www.flexibleworking.brizzy.site. So Brizzy, B-R-I-Z or Z-Y, depending on how you say it, B-R-I-Z-Y.S-I-T-E. So www.flexibleworking.brizzy.site. I haven't decided what the URL is, full URL is for it. But yeah, so if you want any further information and you want to read some of the newspaper articles, I've had things published. You know, there was one, if you're going to have to do remote recruitment, that went out in The Guardian, for example. That's there, right through to things like, you know, yeah, all sorts of, you know, why is the office empty on a Friday? That was one that was written in October. But again, you'll get some interesting perspectives and thoughts on this whole remote working, flexible working kind of world that the rest of the world now finds themselves in. So yeah, cool. Thank you for purchasing the book. Thank you for watching. Feel free to share this if you know people who could benefit from anything I do, the other authors do as well. That would be absolutely amazing. And I will catch you all later.